Hello and welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft video. I am Paul Cheon, and we are about to head straight into a pack here, looking at Grim Monolith or better Grim Monolith. Gonna take a Mana Vault. Mana Vault is incredible. It allows you to just play turn 2. Even if you play a fair deck, you can just go turn 1 Mana Vault, turn 2 4-drop, 5-drop, and that's gonna be good enough here. So very, very happy with the Mana Vault. Hopefully we can follow up the trophy that we got in our last draft with LSV to come and help guide us in drafting a 5-color mid-range deck. But happy to start with the Mana Vault here. Other cards to consider are Through the Breach and Grim Monolith, maybe even the Brainstorm, but we're taking the Mana Vault and we're going to be very, very happy with it. And this just leaves us lots of options, which is great about Mana Vault because it's going to just be good in basically any deck. And so happy to have that in my pile and see where we go. Okay, and pack number 2 gives us, I feel like I get past library a lot. And I always want to take it. Other options here are the Mana Leak. And there's also a Chrome Mox, and there's also a Necromancy. And I'm not sure where I am exactly with when I decide to move into Reanimator, but usually if I get an Animate Dead or like an Entomb, I'll look into it, but not necessarily with Necromancy, although it is pretty good. So I think for us, it's between Chrome Mox, Library of Alexandria, and Mana Leak. And I can see the case being made for anything. I do like Mana Leak, but I do like taking Library because that's just going to go into every single deck that we play. The other case could be made for taking something like a Chrome Mox, but I'm going to take the Library. I just really like the card, but certainly I wouldn't fault anybody for taking a Chrome Mox there just because if you want the speed, Chrome Mox gives you that speed. Coming into this pack, we have Liliana of the Veil, Delighted Halfling if you want to be green, Karakas, which is just an excellent land to have in your deck, and then there's a Mox Opal, there's an Urtai, and there's some lands. Now, Mox Opal is a decent card to perhaps spec into if I want to be artifacts, for example. Had we taken the Chrome Mox, I would be more inclined to take the Mox Opal, but as is, I don't know that I want to take that right away. So again, I'm going to take the kind of safe pick here and go with the Karakas because I'm likely going to want to play Karakas in basically any deck that I play, and it's going to be quite good in those decks that I play. Here we have basically lands. We have Shelldock Isle and Gaia's Cradle, both really, really powerful lands that you can choose. And then we have Thraben Inspector and Miscalculation as the other considerations. So we don't have any creatures, but we could take something like a Gaia's Cradle if we wanted to move into a green-based strategy and just have it be a land that generates a ton of mana. Shelldock Isle is also fine. And then there's also Miscalculation. So are we just going to start the draft just taking all lands? The question is Miscalculation better or worse than Shelldock Isle? I'm not even sure. Given that I don't have a lot of creatures yet, maybe I just pass on the Cradle and take Miscalc. Miscalc is nice when you're playing cards like Library, just cheap interaction. So I think I'm actually going to take it over the Shelldock Isle just to maybe just have a spell that I can play. But again, Shelldock Isle is a totally acceptable consideration out of that pack. Here we have some removal. We have a Fatal Push, there's a Darkslick Shores, and a Plateau. There's an Omnath, which I'm not too interested in. There's a Karn, Scion of Urza, which could be good. I mean, we do have a Mana Vault, so going Mana Vault into Karn is not the worst. And then that could maybe give us a direction if, for example, we want to draft a lot of artifacts. The thing is, Karn, I mean, it really stands out if you're playing a ton of artifacts, but worst case scenario, you still play it as a card advantage engine, and it's still not too bad. So I think I'm going to take the Karn over the Plateau here because we have the Mana Vault, and I want to do something with that Mana Vault. And Karn is an excellent card to get going with the Mana Vault. Okay, so this is interesting. I am seeing a lot of artifacts. There's a Mystic Forge. I don't think we're going to table it, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there's 10 cards. But I'm really looking at this Retrofitter Foundry. I think it's going to be great. We have a Karn. It's not so great with the Mana Vault. The other option here is Marsh Flats, which is also very, very good. But I'm going to take the Foundry here because we're seeing a good amount of artifacts, and perhaps this can open the door for potentially a sweet artifact deck. And look, Retrofitter Foundry is just good in a fair deck. Here we have a Prism. That's an option. There's a Lauren. There's a Hallowed Fountain. And then there's also a Mishra's Workshop. So a little bit concerned about my mana. Our mana could have been fantastic. We could have just had all lands. But Mishra's Workshop is also interesting if we do pick up the expensive artifacts. But because we're not super committed to that just yet, I'm going to take the Hallowed Fountain because I just think the blue-white land is likely something that we're going to want in this strategy. But I could see a case being made for taking the Workshop. Golos for Library, Golos for Karakas. Those are options, but I think I'm just going to be pretty happy enough taking the Talisman here over Hangerback Walker. It looks like we might potentially be positioning ourselves to... This is the 6th draft, and we haven't drafted a blue-white control deck. Just throwing that out there. This is something that historically I've been known to draft. I know blue-white's not really a thing in Vintage Cube, but hey, look, we got this late Colonnade. We're setting up here, potentially, for a blue-white control strategy, potentially. So this pack has a Savannah. There's not a lot of green cards I want to play, and I'm a little bit concerned about the number of playables here, so I can either take Pyrite Spellbomb as a cheap artifact or the Wandering Emperor, and we are setting ourselves up with a bunch of white cards, so I'm going to take the Emperor here over the Pyrite Spellbomb. Now we have Shattered Sanctum versus Urtai. If I wanted to splash black, I think I'd just rather have the Shattered Sanctum over the Urtai. So I'm just going to take the land here, because having the black-white land does give us options to potentially splash cards like Thoughtseize or Vindicate, just removal effects if I really need. So this is giving us a decent base. Here there's a Seachrome Coast, which I'm going to take over the Thraben Inspector. Thraben Inspector, it does make a clue, but I'd rather have good mana. If I'm going to be potentially blue-white, I think just having a bunch of blue-white sources is nice, because when you do draft blue-white, there's a lot of double blue and double white cards that you want in your deck. Cards like Counterspell and Mana Drain, and then potentially things like Unexpectedly Absent, which might table, or Wrath of God, or this Wandering Emperor. So I do like making sure I have a good number of blue-white lands. And again, we also want to play a card like Library of Alexandria, which does make our mana a little bit worse. Here I'm going to take Gideon, Ally of Zendikar. Not the best card to play, especially if you're a more controlling strategy, but we don't really know, right? If we have a bunch of ramp and we don't have a lot of top end, we can certainly end up playing Gideon. Now, of course, you could just say, well, you could have taken Thraben Inspector and maybe just taken a bunch of white aggressive creatures, but I kind of like leaving the window open here. We could also look to be some kind of a blue-white tempo artifact strategy. Ooh, there's a Wedding Announcement, which in this style of deck, probably something that I'm happy with playing. And remember, I say blue-white, but we only have a miscalculation, right? So we're not necessarily married to it. There's also black-white mid-range that you can draft, but I would want to be blue-white if possible. All right, coming into this pack, again, I know we have a couple double white cards, but I think I still want to take a Counterspell here. It's just such a good interactive spell that you can play. Other options are Council's Judgment, which might table. There's a Creeping Tar Pit, which is also okay. And there's also Dismember, which is a nice removal spell. But I think I just want to have the Counterspell. 2-mana counters are really, really powerful. And we have the Colonnade, the Hallowed Fountain, and the Seachrome Coast. So it's not going to be too hard to cast. If we're going to end up playing some kind of a fair deck, we're going to need some ways to disrupt what they're doing if we're playing against a Tinker deck. And I think Counterspell is the card for that. And typically when I'm drafting blue-white, I know Dismember is good, but I think we will be able to find removal spells just naturally. This pack has a Spell Seeker, which currently has a Counterspell and Miscalculation to get, but that's basically it. We don't have a Time Walk, we don't have Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares. There's also Coveted Jewel. If you're the Turbo Ramp artifact deck, it is a nice card to have in your deck. Not interested in the Elspeth. We already have a few 4-mana Planeswalkers. I think, though, like I said before about the 2-mana counterspells, I'm just going to take the loose focus here. So now we're going to have miscalc, counterspell, and loose focus. And that's going to really help us shore up the kind of the unfair matchups. So happy with this. We have all the counters, and now there's a Force of Negation too. So that's something that I want to consider. There's a Dak Faden in the pack. We don't have any red fixing. Dak Faden is fantastic, but I also do love just playing Force of Negation as well. And now that we have picked up four counter spells, we can start looking at other holes in our deck. There's a Wooded Foothills in this pack, but right now, I mean, given that we're blue-white, we don't have any lands where the Wooded Foothills helps us out. So I'm just going to take the Force of Negation here over Dak Faden, recognizing that Dak is in fact a very powerful card, but we don't have the fixing for it. And again, I'm always very happy to play Force of Negation in my deck. All right. This pack, ooh, man, a lot of fetch lands in this draft. There's a Polluted Delta and a Verdant Catacombs. There's an Upheaval, but we can't really take advantage of it too well. All we have is a Mana Vault and a Talisman of Progress for ramp. There's a Prismatic Ending, which is a removal spell that I like, but I'm going to take Polluted Delta here. This Polluted Delta seems incredible. We have a Hallowed Fountain, so Polluted Delta acts as another blue-white source and gives us the option of playing a Swamp to go with our Shattered Sanctum, and that's already 3 black sources. So going to take the Polluted Delta. And here we have Underground Sea. So Underground Sea is a nice option. We have a couple of other considerations. Again, we don't have any black cards just yet, so it's not amazing. There's also Currency Converter, which is just a good card. And there's also Skyclave Apparition, which is also just a good card. And the question is, what do we want out of this? Because we have the Delta, I mean, we don't have anything black just yet. I'm kind of looking at this Currency Converter. It's a nice cheap artifact to play in your deck. It goes well with the Karn. And I do like Skyclave Apparition, but I think I'm going to go with the cheap spell instead here. If we get something like an Academy, then we're going to be happy that we have this Currency Converter. Now, we can't really break it in the sense that we don't have reanimation cards, but I think it's still just a good card to play in any deck. Okay, well, that's a late Underworld Breach. Do I take it? Every time I try, I fail. There's a Kappa Cannoneer, which I'm not that interested in. There's also a Blade Splicer, which I think is just going to be a good card in our deck. So look, we have Wedding Announcement. We're kind of mid-rangey-ish. And so I think I'm probably just more interested in this Blade Splicer. It does make an artifact for the Karn. We don't have a lot of 3s. I think it just fits really well into this deck. So I'm going to take it. But for all those Breach lovers out there, I can certainly see the case for taking the Breach there. This isn't really a Kythian deck. There's a lot of powerful cards here. There's a Laelia, which we can't really play. There's an Expressive Iteration. I could potentially see splashing Expressive Iteration. There's also Bloodchief's Thirst, but Iteration is just a very strong card. So I might take it if I do end up getting good enough fixing to play the card. Here, let's just kind of put the... Oh no! Oh no! 8th pick! There it is! There's the Brain Freeze! I mean, look, we passed the Breach. We can't do it anymore. Oh, I know all of you are so disappointed. I think I'm going to be happy with this Blade Splicer, but I know you guys are going to be so disappointed. Brain Freeze Breach is kind of like Splinter Twin combo, but because I passed the other thing, I'm just going to take the Arid Mesa for good mana. Oh, no. Oh, well. All right. This pack has a Creeping Tar Pit or a Council's Judgment. I am looking for removal now, so I'm very happy to pick up this Council's Judgment. Creeping Tar Pit is a good card, but again, we don't have any other black cards to play really right now. So I'm just going to take the Council's Judgment for our deck. Our mana is quite good, so happy enough playing it. Now I'm going to take an Elspeth here. We have just all the 4-mana white Planeswalkers that make tokens. I'm going to take that over Porcelain Legionnaire. But let's just kind of put that iteration out. And let's take a look at the playables here. 3, 7, 11, 15. Okay, so we're still on pace here. We have good mana, and we have 15 cards that we're reasonably happy with playing in our deck. There is a Jetmir's Garden that we can fetch with the Arid Mesa or just a Flame Slash. I'll just take the Flame Slash. I'm not a big fan of the Revoker. Actually, maybe I'll take the Revoker. It's on color. I can put it in my sideboard. I don't know. I mean, there could be a matchup where I just go, hey, Revoker, your Black Lotus or your Planeswalker or something. There doesn't really seem to be a super compelling reason to play another color just yet. But, again, if we get a 4th year Lingus, I will certainly consider taking the 4th year Lingus. Now, there's a Thought Scour here, but I don't know that our deck does anything with it, so I'm probably just going to choose not to play it. There's a Snuff out here, which I do like over Virtue of Persistence, and that is something that I could consider playing. We do have a Delta. We didn't take the C, but if we really, really need a removal spell, we'll take it. Right now, all we have in the form of removal is a Council's Judgment and the Wandering Emperor, I guess. So we can just pass that. Oh, there's a Tolarian Academy. Hold on. I think we take it. We took the Foundry. We have a Mana Vault. We have a Currency Converter. God, there are all those 0-mana artifacts in pack 1. There's a Talisman, a Blade Splicer, a Karn. I think we have just enough, and we can try to pick up more. Demonic Tutor is also good, but it's on the splash. There's also Flooded Strand, but I think our mana's pretty good now. We have 4 blue-white lands. All right, I'm going to take the Tolarian Academy here and keep my eye out for a bunch of artifacts now. Okay. Does the Revoker come back in? Do we just play it? It's an option. Now, I do need things to do with a bunch of mana. We do have the Retrofitter Foundry, which is basically the perfect card with Tolarian Academy. Wow, that's an Animate Dead. Very, very nice card. There's an Echo of Eons. A nice thing to do with the Academy. Oh, man. Pretty stoked for this Academy. But I think with Academy, it's really, really important to have good, cheap artifacts. So I'm going to take this Mox Diamond here, I think, over Nettlecyst. There's also a Jite here, which is fine. But there's a Nettlecyst and a Jite, and I guess Echo of Eons. But look, with the Academy, I'm just going to take the Mox Diamond just to make sure that I can have those explosive starts. Even playing these Planeswalkers early is not the worst. All right. Wow, Fast Bond? I mean, we can't take it, but that's insane. 3rd pick Fast Bond, folks. Can't take it. There's a Scrubland. Some people might call it other things. I don't even know why I said that, because now people are going to say those things. There's a Narset, which is just a fantastic card. And there's also a Talisman of Creativity. Now, do I take the Talisman just because I have the Narset, or do I just take the Narset here because I think it's just a much better card? There's also Mentor. I think I'm just going to take the Narset here, and maybe I table the Echo of Eons, and we can have that combo going. Here we have Lorien Revealed. I do like that card. We do have Hallowed Fountain to get. And look, if we get a bunch of mana late game, you can just use this to draw 3 cards. So pretty happy about that. The only other options here are what? Manifold Key is cool with Mana Vault. That's basically it. It is a cheap artifact, but it doesn't do much. If I had maybe a Basalt Monolith as well, I could consider playing it. There's a Vindicate, which I think is going to table. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Lorien Revealed out of this pack. Then there's an LED, which we can't really use. There's a Soul Guide Lantern, which I think I'm just going to take here. There's a Deserted Breach, but again, our mana's great. Don't really care about the Ledger Shredder. I do care about having cheap artifacts, and worst case scenario, this cycles and gives us something against one of the best archetypes in the cube, which is the Reanimator strategy. So yeah, I'm just going to take Soul Guide Lantern here. Make sure that our Academy is as good as it can be. And then moving on to this pack, we have Hard Evidence, which basically just makes it just makes a clue for the Academy. It's a blue card for Force of Negation. And then there's also Talisman of Conviction. Hero of Bladehold is fine, but we don't really care too much about that. So it's basically between Talisman of Conviction or Hard Evidence. I think I like the Talisman because I do have a bunch of 4-mana Planeswalkers. So I'll take that over that. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic. Although we don't have any equipment to get, so can't really take that. There's a third path Iconoclast, which is quite good, but again, very, very difficult to cast. So then there's Esper Sentinel versus Thopter Foundry. The Sentinel is not that exciting. We're not super aggressive. Thopter Foundry could be okay. The question is, do I play this if I don't have Sword? Can we get Sword? I think we still can. So let's just take it and hope? I don't know. It's an artifact. Oh, okay. So here's a Candelabra but then there's also Teferi. And I think this is not the deck that's really trying to do broken things with Tolarian Academy. We don't have a bunch of draw 7s. I think this is a Teferi deck. And as much as I like Candelabra with Tolarian Academy, I think this is a Teferi deck. Turn 1 Mana Vault, turn 2 Teferi. This is where I want to be. And besides, I'm in my happy place here. Right? We drafted blue-white Cheons. This is 20 cards. Is Sarah Paragon good in our deck? Not really. We do have a fetch. We have a couple of fetches. I think I want the Otawara here. Yeah, let's just take Otawara. And then now we have Nettlecyst versus Timeless Dragon. There's Tameshi, which is good with Black Lotus, which we don't have. Timeless Dragon is a decent way to win, but I think again, with the Tolarian Academy, I'm just going to take the Nettlecyst here. I think we just have enough artifacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nettlecyst is 8. Blade Splicer is 9. Karn makes artifacts. So I think it's good enough to play. I think there's enough stuff happening here where I want to take that Nettlecyst. Do all of you count Mox Diamond as a land? Do I put this in the land stack? All right, here we're going to take Monastery Mentor. This looks like a fairly good Monastery Mentor deck, so I'm pretty happy having that. We're just kind of... The white part of our deck just generates a bunch of tokens, and then the blue part is just counterspells and Teferi. Sure. Here there's a Vindicate. I'm not really interested in playing this Jace Wielder of Mystery, so I'll take this, and I could certainly play it too. I don't think I care too much about the Adeline here, so let's just continue giving ourselves good mana. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we'll take. Look, I'm gonna go for synergy. Ooh, I'm gonna go for synergy. I do like Hero of Bladehold, but I'm gonna go for the synergy there and take the Hard Evidence as another cheap artifact. It's another cheap artifact. You can exile it with the Force of Negation, and yeah, this allows us to take advantage of Tolarian Academy better. Ooh, also, by the way, Teferi and Academy is kind of a thing. So, all right, let's build our deck here. Let's remove... I'm not sure about the Esper Sentinel. I like my counters. These are kind of questionable. Vindicate we can put on the side. Snuff Out probably doesn't need to make it. Lorien Revealed we can count as a land. And then how many black sources do we have for the Vindicate? We have does Arid Mason? No, we didn't get the Godly Shrine. So we have the Shattered Sanctum, that's 1. The Delta, that's 2. And then a Swamp would be 3. And then Mox Diamond would be 4. So we can play it if we do need a playable. But I'm going to put it here and just see what we're looking at. If Mox Diamond also counts as a land, then we have 5, 10, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We could either play one more card or play an extra land. Okay, after fiddling around, this is what I like. I think even if I don't count this as a mana source, here we're looking, okay, and we don't play this. I don't want to play the Swamp. That's kind of my only thing, is because we have so many double white and double blue cards. So let's keep our mana nice and smooth. I could play the Esper Sentinel or the Phyrexian Revoker. The Sentinel provides more potential explosiveness with the Academy. So I'm going to try this. I'm not super sure if that's what I want, but hey, we have an Academy. You can't be too wrong taking the cheap artifacts. Yeah, 10 white, 10 blue seems pretty good. And then we have a couple of talismans that also give us white mana. So our mana is phenomenal. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, round 1. I will keep this hand. So we have Mox Diamond. So we can go turn 1 Talisman of Conviction, and then turn 2 Monastery Mentor, Narset, or Blade Splicer. That seems pretty nice. So we'll go... I want the island. I want to play the... Excuse me. I'm going to play the island, and then I want to Mox away the plane so that I can have access to 2 blue. Discard that. All right. Would Academy be sweet? Oh yeah, Academy. Academy would allow us to go Blade Splicer into Narset. What about Mana Vault? I kind of want to put pressure. So I think I go with the Monastery Mentor. That probably gives us the most upside. Although, the only issue with the Monastery Mentor is that you often want to go Monastery Mentor into Spell. Whereas Blade Splicer, you just play it and not worry. So I wonder if I just do that. Yeah, let's just go Blade Splicer. Turn 2 Blade Splicer is not bad. We have Mentor, Narset, and Mana Vault in hand with 3 mana sources. Playing the Vault there didn't really do anything for us. If we do draw a land, we can go Land, Mentor, Vault. Or actually, maybe it's just better to go Mentor, Vault, Pass. But let's just attack first. We don't need to run out this Narset just yet. I think I'm more interested in playing creatures right now anyways. There may have been a way to cast everything. Like if I played Monastery Mentor turn 2 rather, then what could I have done? Then I could have gone Vault, tap Vault for mana, play Blade Splicer, and Narset. So perhaps that would have been better sequencing. Let's play the land. Oh, never mind. First, I had all these mana sources, and in my mind, the Deserted Breach would come into play untapped. But it doesn't. They have 2 mana up. Which do I care? Now it's interesting. Do I still... Because my opponent's playing blue-white, do I want to try to get value out of my Mentor? And prevent them to draw cards. Because if that's the case, then I play the Narset first. But I get more value out of the Mentor. I get more value out of the Mentor if I play it first and then play Narset and Mana Vault. So we'll just do it like this. If they kill the Mentor, they kill the Mentor. We still have Blade Splicer attacking them, and the next turn we can still go Narset into Mana Vault. So they just played a Naked Lurrus. All right. And we drew a plane, so we can go Narset. So blue, colorless here. Monastery Mentor trigger, which is nice. And then see if we get something off the Narset. Ooh, okay. So there's a Currency Converter, a Force of Negation, and a Wandering Emperor. All great cards here. What do I want? I can't play the Force of Negation. So the question is, do I want to just go with the Converter? Or do I just want more action in the Wandering Emperor? I think I just like the Wandering Emperor, to be honest. And then let's just go ahead and play out our land. And then play the Mana Vault to trigger the Mentor once again. Then we can attack with Mentor and this token. Although I guess if they attack with the Lurrus, I mean we can just double block with the Monk tokens. That's not the end of the world. Yeah. Sadly, we can't play the Wandering Emperor. I could have, had I tapped the Mana Vault first, anticipating. Had I tapped the Mana Vault anticipating something, that would have been different, but... Alright, I think I'm just gonna double block with the Monk tokens. And then just... Look, if they have something to play here, they do. That's fine. They might just have a sweeper here, to be honest, like a Wrath of God. Oh, a Lauren. Okay. Mana Vault down. Oh, no, token down. Okay. That's fine. So they do have a Karakas in play. Gotta be mindful of that for legendary permanents. But, ooh, Celestial Colonnade. I am about that life. Okay, Narset. What you got? Oh, Karn. There's a Karn and a Hard Evidence. We are taking Karn. We have 3 artifacts in play. This thing is going to be nasty. And we will still... So if I just tap the Mana Vault here, I can just do this and play Karn. They're not legendary, right? Yeah. So I can play Karn. Oh, this is great. And then I also have Wandering Emperor up. And I'm just going to make a construct. It's going to be a 4/4 construct. Great. Let's play the Colonnade here. And yeah. I guess I'm interested in maybe playing around the sweeper, but I'm just going to attack with my Blade Splicer and my Monastery Mentor. Alright, so what do I do? Do I just want to get in for more damage? I can play... No. I want to play around a sweeper, so what I'm going to do here is... Oh, they're bouncing the Laurenshire. That's fine. Okay. What I want to do is, in case they play a sweeper, I guess they can kill the construct. But if we play that game, I mean, we are doing totally fine. Yeah, this is more than okay. Let's just go ahead and play the Wandering Emperor. This generates us 2 tokens. One from the Mentor. One from the Monastery Mentor, of course. Create a token. They can't use the Karakas this turn, but they're... I mean, we're going to be pressuring them for a lot of damage here. Okay. Alright, so... Karning doesn't do much right now. We can... activate the Mentor. Or, sorry, we can give this +1/+1 on first strike. So I'm kind of interested in pumping up the Monastery Mentor here. And then... So the question here is whether or not we want to activate the Colonnade or keep up Miscalculation. And I think we want to keep up Miscalculation. Yeah. I think we do. So I'm just going to attack with these 2 for now. It's not the most exciting thing, but they can't do the bounce Lauren play anymore. And this just prevents any shenanigans from happening. Because I think we were 1 mana short. If we activated the Colonnade and attacked, we'd be 1 mana short of casting Miscalculate. And given that they're stuck on 4 lands, I think this is better. Okay. They keep having cheap, efficient answers. What shall we do? Nope. Okay, so the land is good. The land is actually good because we can cast Miscalculation. So let's go ahead and activate our Celestial Colonnade. And I'm going to attack with everything. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. If they block our 3/3, they take 9. And then we have Miscalculation up. Okay. got that one. Our opponent's playing kind of a blue-white, mid-rangey Luris deck. Is there anything I want to board out? I kind of like my deck the way that it is. They had Lauren for, like, do I want a Revoker Karakas? No, I have my own Karakas. Do I want Vindicate for the Karakas? Is that worth it? I could cut something like an Esper Sentinel, and like I said before, my mana's so good I can probably afford to play the Vindicate if I want. Yeah, why don't we do that? So let's take out the Esper Sentinel, play a Shattered Sanctum, cut 2 planes, then let's add 1 Swamp, and then let's play the Vindicate as just an extra way to deal with probably like the Luris too, because we're a little bit light on removal. So we'll try that. Well, this is the slowest hand in the world, but I think I keep. They took some damage there. Again, I'm not super confident in this keep, but every time I saw the Academy, and I'm not going to lie to you, I got excited. And I kept. All right, drawing the land was big, because otherwise we couldn't really cast anything. So they went and got a plateau. Nice. Yeah, wish we got a Godless Shrine or the Underground Sea. Those were options at some point, but we didn't. This is interesting because our opponent shocked turn 1, signaling Spell Pierce, I suppose. But the question is, do I want to be the first one to blink here? Or do I just play draw go? Because they represented Spell Pierce, if I play something, I think I'm more inclined to play the Blade Splicer here over the Wedding Announcement. So let's do that. Gives us an artifact for the Academy too. They could just play a 4/4 flyer. Yep. Probably want to just kill that. The Wandering Emperor does make things interesting. Wedding Announcement doesn't do too... Oh, I mean, I suppose... that would be such a blowout if they daze us. I'm just killing this. Arid Mesa is going to go ahead and fetch us a Hallowed Fountain. And the next turn, we're going to be looking pretty good here. We can even go Karn, Academy, make a Construct, and then have mana up for Loose Focus, which seems pretty nice. And that's a Serra Paragon, okay? So they can Spell Pierce us if we go for the Wandering Emperor. They don't have anything to do with the Serra Paragon just yet, and this is on their turn, right? Okay. So, what is the best way to play around that? I think if we want to play around Spell Pierce, I think the best thing to do is we'll play the Academy, and then we'll just play Wedding Announcement. Like this. And then we can still have mana up for Loose Focus. Not going to attack, and we're looking pretty good. We have the Loose Focus here for their follow-up, potentially, and we have Wedding Announcement going, so feeling in okay shape for now. I guess they could oust my token, which would be annoying. All right, that's annoying, but I think we just let that happen. They're just passing though, so that's certainly concerning. I kind of want to draw the card here, so let's play this land. Attack. And then we can go Wandering Emperor and Force of Negation as well. So let's just do that and pass. Ooh, Foundry. Foundry is a nice one. So now when they attack us, we can actually, you know, I don't even, I think I just take it. And then I just cast a Wandering Emperor end of turn. Because if they place something worth killing or countering, I can counter it and then untap and play the Emperor. Like this Lurrus is kind of annoying, I guess. But that does seem to not be the best use of my mana. But again, I'm kind of trying to play around Spell Pierce. Maybe that's bad. And I can Force of Negation the Serra Paragon, but let's just, yeah, this one doesn't feel so great. Because they can replay it if I don't kill the Serra Paragon. And if they Spell Pierce the Serra Paragon next turn, that's pretty bad. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the Wandering Emperor. So they did have the Spell Pierce. All right. I think this is worth Force of Negationing because I want to exile the Serra Paragon. All right, so they have a Lurrus, but nothing to get back. So that's okay. Library, not going to do much here, but let's play the Foundry. Let's play Karn. Let's make a construct. Let's put a counter on something. Sure, let's put it on the token. And then we have access to two mana. All right. And then this can also make a token. All right. So, oh, this can attack too. Yeah, that's fine. It will attack. And then Wedding Announcement, this turn is going to flip. Everything's going to be big. Okay. Great board here. We have Tolarian Academy plus the Retrofitter Foundry. That's a nice combo. A couple of Planeswalkers in play, but of course anything big here is going to be problematic potentially. Okay, Time Warp isn't too bad. Depends on what they do. If they just go Time Warp untap, we're doing okay. Okay. You got your Time Warp. Time Warp would be nice for us. Karakas can protect your Lurrus, sure. But next turn, or end of turn, we can go Retrofitter Foundry, and then we're going to have like a bunch of artifacts in play for the Academy, a ton of mana. So Foundry is going to be doing a lot of work here. All right. Create a servo. Okay, Mox Diamond. Maybe I shouldn't have played the land, I guess, but it's fine. So, kind of just like attacking with everything. Let's make a construct, and let's put a counter on the human token. And let's beat down. And if they don't block the construct, yeah, they're going to have to. So we don't need to do anything here. We don't need to grow the construct right now. But this is also a lethal attack Unless they let damage happen. Which I think they have to. Okay. Yeah. So this is going to be really tough to get out of. Like, even if they kill everything, I can float a bunch of mana and then make a bunch of tokens. And they're at 3. Uh-oh. Okay, Othari. Got it. Alright. I think we can make a token and block and then do stuff here. Yeah, I know that's a great choice of my words. Okay, our opponent just conceded. All right. Blue-white tokens. Library? Yes, I will keep. Don't Thoughtseize me. Come on. All right, it's okay. We're on the draw. So as long as they don't play another hand disruption spell, we can still get library online. Here. So what? We go to 6, then we draw a card, we go to 7, we run out the library, and profit? I don't even know what they take. Force of negation, maybe? Our hand is pretty nice. I'm not even sure how I would classify this deck, though. Azorius tokens, artifacts? Azorius artifact tokens? Taking a trip to the academy? I don't know. So I have to run the library out. Obviously, I really want to play out the foundry. Or excuse me, the colonnade. But, oh, nothing on turn 2. Yes. Okay. So now I can go ahead and draw a card and play the colonnade. Yeah, let's play the colonnade. I considered playing the Soul Guide Lantern in case they're Reanimator, but we do have Teferi Force of Negation, worst case scenario. Oh, Underground Sea. 4-color midrange? Love to see it. Okay. So I want to play my land. Okay. I'm going to play my land and pass now that we drew the loose focus. Yeah, that's good. So now we can draw a card off the library and still cast loose focus. What is this? Oh. Okay, I think we can handle a 1/1 shark. All right, so they're playing just like a 4-color mid-range value deck, it seems. Yeah, I'll counter that. But let's draw the card first. That's good. Cast the loose focus. So next turn we go to 8 cards. Might just play Blade Splicer here. So we go to 8 cards, play our land, go down to 7, activate library, and then Blade Splicer. Because I want to play something here, right? So, but I'll play the plains here, draw the card for information. And then, yeah, I'll just run out Blade Splicer. I mean, the alternatively, I can play the Retrofitter Foundry. That's not doing that much for me right now. This just puts just more permanence on the battlefield for me to pressure my opponent and kind of force them to use some of the removal. But yeah, this library is being incredible for us. Cheap spells, cheap interaction. That's what you want with library. And we have all the 2 mana counters and a bunch of cheap artifacts. Dark Confidant. Okay. Well, I'm glad I played out the splicer here. Interesting, the shark is not getting in there. Okay. So, that's really cool. I can go to Fairy. I can go to Fairy plus untap, and then still draw off the library. But I do have Force of Negation available. So do I want to play a different Planeswalker instead? For example, maybe I want to play Gideon or Elspeth. You know, I think we're looking to be in a pretty decent spot, and just having more aggressive permanents in play when the opponent has Dark Confidant in play makes a lot of sense to me. That's also interesting. That's even potentially more aggressive, right? I can go Monastery Mentor into Soul Guide Lantern, and that puts 2 creatures into play, and the next turn I can play a lot more things. So that puts me down to 6, then I draw, that's 7, and then I can play... Yeah, okay. Anywho, I am going to attack with the Golem token. I'm going to keep the Blade Splicer back to block Dark Confidant, I think. Actually, do I just want to play Gideon? Gideon gets in for so much. Maybe it's just Gideon. Yeah, I'm just gonna Gideon. What did they hit? Reanimate. Okay. Don't really care about Reanimate here, but that's good to know. Soul Guide Lantern. I'm glad we have the Force of Negation here, just in case. So because of the Reanimate, I think next turn we're probably going to be looking to perhaps Mentor Soul Guide Lantern. We'll see. That I don't mind. So Reanimate onto Shredder. Probably playing a second spell here to connive with the Shredder. Urtai. Okay. And I can't counter that with Force of Negation. So that's going to kill Gideon. And they get to connive. So they have put a pretty good board here. And I'm just drawing a bunch of cards, but I'm only able to kind of play one spell a turn, so it's not ideal here. Okay. Attacking for 1, got it. So they have the 2/4 Leisure Shredder, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so I want to keep the Otawara in hand. Think it could just have some value. But now it's time to play a bunch of things, and we have access to, what, 5 mana? The problem with playing Planeswalkers right now is they have a 2/4 flyer and a 1/1 flyer. So I wonder if it's correct to just go Mentor, Soul Guide Lantern, Retrofitter Foundry. Maybe that's good. Land. Monastery Mentor. Draw a card. Ooh. Nettle Cyst could be good now that we have the Retrofitter and Soul Guide Lantern. So let's go All right, so they get an activation there, which is unfortunate, but not too much to do there. Because next turn, we can get in for a good amount potentially. Let's exile, I don't know, the LED. If they have a breach or something. Although, since this is active, I'll be fine. And then we'll play the Retrofitter Foundry. All right. This is fine. Dark Confidant is doing some work. The whole Orcish Bowmasters, that is tough. Orcish Bowmasters is a good one here. Jite is also a good one. I don't think I can let that happen. I think we're off the library now, so let's just counter the Jite here. All right. Library, you served us well, but we have a lot of other things we want to do anyways. Next turn, we have access to 7 mana. Ooh, Council's Judgment. They had Orcish Bowmasters. Oh, okay. Time to use brain, folks. If I play Teferi and plus, they're certainly going to Bowmasters me in response. So I think maybe we just wait on the Teferi for now. And let's see, we can just play Nettle Cyst here. See what they do. I mean, this might be a good time to just kill one of my monks, to be honest. Okay. Like, I mean, if I'm not drawing cards, the Bowmasters isn't even all that scary, right? So what if I just Elspeth? And I think we can get in for a fairly healthy attack here. We don't... Yeah. Okay. And then do we want to give anything wings? I suppose we want to give the Mentor wings. Let's see. If we turn that into a 7/7, they can't kill it. And I do want to attack with it. It's a 4/4. Does a Splicer get in too? They're at 11? No, we'll just keep the Splicers back. All right, big attack. Yep, Bowmasters resolves. They're probably going to ping. What are they pinging? Okay, this Blaze Splicer, that's sure. I guess now that the Golem trades with the Urtai. And then the Shredder is going to eat a 3/3, but this is probably going to eat the Shark, the 7/7. And then we still have quite the board here. Then we have to untap and do a lot of things. Because I wanted them to play out the Bowmasters first, then I can play Council's Judgment to exile the Bowmasters, and then I can dump Teferi and play. All right, not bad. Do I have a Thopter in play? I don't, right? Sacrifice the Thopter, make a 4/4. Okay. So they're on 8 with a Bowmasters and a Ledger Shredder. We have a bunch of prowess tokens. If we draw another land, that gives us access to 9 mana. Oh no, I only need 8. Yeah, no, if I draw a land, that gives us access to 8 mana, which allows us to play Council Judgment and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, which gives us 2 triggers with 5 prowess creatures in play. And I can even just remove both of the things that are in play. And I don't think they're really in a position to use their Ledger Shredder to attack my Elspeth, which is at 5. So, looking pretty good. I guess a sweeper is something that could get them out of this. We have a Soul Guide Lantern if they do Reanimator shenanigans. Fiery Covenant is something that they could have. Okay, they're casting a Spellseeker. So if they get a Time Walk, I mean, Spellseeker can be very scary, for sure. So, what is it? Because if they go Spellseeker Time Walk, oh, okay, Duress, sure. They could Time Walk away the Elspeth. And they get an activation here off the Ledger Shredder, sure. I mean, look, we couldn't cast both of these anyways. We have stuff to do with our mana in the Foundry. I think they'd probably take Teferi. But we're still looking all right. So they're on 8. We use a removal spell to get Ledger Shredder off the battlefield. Maybe? Certainly want to play Teferi. And I'm just playing out all my lands, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can place around Spell Pierce. All right. Monastery Mentor doing some work here. Subtlety. Nice. Okay. I would like to draw Teferi, yes. I'm going to put this on top. And then we can still use the Elspeth. We can still attack with this. Although, can we make 2 artifacts? We can't. Yeah, let's give this flying. Play our land. And I think we still just attack with everything. So they kind of have to block this with that. And then Spellseeker goes here. And then Bowmasters also has to block. Okay. I will accept these trades. They are at 2. We pass. We have a Foundry, an Elspeth, and a Teferi on top. And a Celestial Colonnade in play. Okay. So they're playing a Grixis. They have a Blooming Marsh, so maybe they're splashing green, but it's just like a Grixis mid-range deck that happens to have Reanimate. And again, I think I'm just going to go ahead with the Vindicate plan here. I think the games are going to go kind of longer. This 1-mana 1/1's not going to be that relevant. And I'd rather just have more ways to kill their creatures. And Snuff Out is okay, but it also doesn't really kill Dark Confidant, which is kind of the thing I want to remove. So, okay, well, we were due to have a bad opener, so we're going to ship this one back. And yikes. I'll keep it, but it's not a happy keep. We have a counterspell. Maybe Karakas does something. Otawara maybe does something. Since we drew the Hallowed Fountain, I just don't... Well, oh, no. I can use Polluted Delta for black, huh? So yeah, let's just bottom an island. All right. That's going to get counterspell. Hopefully they don't go turn 2 Dark Confidant, huh? Don't do it! No! Oh, wait, that's also bad. Oh, that was good. Okay. It just sets us up for a potential turn 3 Planeswalker. So drawing Talisman of Conviction gives us something to do. But we have to fight against Numuzawa's Jite. That's going to be tough. They're playing a Kaito Shizuki. Okay. Is a ninja token legendary? It is not. It's okay. I mean, we do have the Otawara. So I'm going to play Karakas. And then play Wedding Announcement. And then just leave up the Karakas, I suppose. Oh, actually, no. I should probably just play Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah. Now, I can either bounce the Jite or bounce the Ninja token. We'll kind of play it by ear. I mean, I guess I could have just Otawara the token. I kind of wanted them to like spend their mana to equip, but I mean, this is just going to be really annoying to deal with. Another good reason to bring the Vindicate in. Probably cycling the Soul Guide Lantern to find something. I'm not even sure. If I find a removal spell, I don't even know what to kill, to be honest. Oh, that's our swamp. Okay. Do I just kill the ninja token? Because that makes sure that they don't draw the card, and we're gonna lose this wedding. So if I bounce the Jite now, we won't lose our Wedding Announcement token. But I think I care more about the card that they draw from the Kaito. So we'll just do this, I suppose. And I'll make sure to do this in combat so that they don't get the attack in. And now, if they don't have another creature, they want to play one, then they're going to have to minus the Kaito or wait till next turn, which buys us a little more time. All right, so they are looting here. Makes sense. And we only have one play. It's attack Kaito. They're probably going to kill this with the Jite. We will have a 2/2 next turn. Oh my gosh, is this a pest infestation? Oh no, it's a shark. Okay. Okay. We're in some trouble. Battle of the Fair Decks. This is a 3/3 shark with a Jite. I mean, we have Council's Judgment, Vindicate, and to a lesser extent Teferi. So I'm going to hold out until I'll give myself a little bit more time here. I do have Celestial Colonnade plus this 2/2 to pressure the Kaito. So if they don't have a creature here, I could potentially kill Kaito. But I think they've just gotten way too much value off of The Shark Typhoon ambushing my token, the Jite, and the Kaito. Inquisition is a miss. Look, it's a small win. At this point, we gotta take all the small wins. Force of Negation. Doesn't do much. Let's activate this. Kaito. Is this a dead Kaito? Yes. Again, the little things. I mean, we're looking at a 9/9 shark here potentially, so we have an uphill battle to climb. But again, if we can find some removal, we could still be in this. Particularly removal for the Jite. Now the question is, if you're the opponent, how much damage do you want to do with the shark token? Seems like the answer is 7. Maybe 9? 9. Okay, so they are getting aggressive with the shark token because it's still a 7/7 if I wanted to block with the colonnade, which is not enough. Gideon would make it a 6/6. So what are we doing? Just chumping with colonnade now? That's not great. It's the only option. So yeah, we're just dead otherwise. So we are going to attack with the token. And we are chumping with Celestial Colonnade, and we're very, very sad about it. We needed the Council's Judgment or the Vindicate there, and we would have had a shot. But remember, they still have 5 cards in hand too, so... It's okay. I think we have a pretty fair shot in this matchup. Just Jite in particular is hard, and we kept the one spell hand. Celestial Colonnade is not legendary, right? All right. That's game. Game 3. What do we have? Do we want Snuff Out too? Erdtide, Dark Confidant. I don't know. I think we'll just keep it the way that it is. I believe in our deck. I will keep this. Got some early disruption. The Academy, which hopefully does some fun things later. Our opponent does have nice early disruption, though. They have Inquisition and Duress. So Miscalculation, Counterspell, and Teferi with a few lands. Gonna go with... We just played the Otawara. I'll just play the Plains because we have Miscalculation. And hold up. If I draw an island, I'd rather play that over the Otawara and just have the Otawara as an option. Okay, now we'll play the island. Or we'll play the Otawara, rather. So we have a very reactive hand here. Miscalculation, Counterspell, Force of Negation. The really annoying card that they have is the Shark Typhoon. Now, if they just make a 1/1, it's not too bad. They're going to play something? Yeah, it's a threat. Do we just run out Teferi? I don't know. We could bait with Elspeth. Maybe we do that. Yeah, let's bait with Elspeth. Okay. Sure. I guess mana is just not an issue. They have like mana leaks and dot seizes and red cards, and I mean they have good mana, so it is what it is. Spellseeker, okay. If they get a duress, I'm gonna force negation this and play Teferi. And we're just all in on Teferi. Okay, but they got mana drain. All right. Well. You want to mana drain that, friend? Okay, well, next turn, we can still... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... If we draw a land, we can go to Teferi and then force a negation their mana drain. Yep. Brainstorm resolves. It's weird. We didn't see any counter magic the first 2 games, and now we're on the mana leak mana drain plan. Yeah, and it's going to be really tough if they have something like a duress here too, which I think we have to force. If they don't play a land, it's okay, but if they go land duress, that's really bad. Because then, yeah, this is rough. Well, let's just go ahead and force a negation this. Okay. Okay, so I think we let the GT resolve. Well, we can't counter it anyways. And then we go Teferi. We go Teferi, miscalculation their mana drain, and then that's where we are. Okay, well, let's even play the Mana Vault here, as it's mana neutral with the Tolarian Academy. Okay. Ooh, gotta think. I guess we want to keep the vault around. They're 100% mana draining this. And then we're miscalcing, and then it's just Teferi versus what they have. I mean, it's weird though. Like, you can't not mana drain, right? Wow. Wow. The patience. Okay, hold on. Do we get rid of the Spellseeker? Or do we just let them do the thing? I'll just draw a card. It's fine. Bowmasters? Their last 2 cards was Bowmasters plus Mana Drain. Wow. Okay. Well, we had the calculation for that. So they have Mana Drain. So it's Mana Drain versus Teferi. It's Mana Drain, Spellseeker, GT versus Teferi. I believe in you, Teferi! Oh, can't play it this turn. It's okay, it's another artifact. Ooh, this is a good game. I like it. They didn't equip the GT. That's very scary. You have something better to do than equip GT? Apparently you do. Kaito. Okay. What are you doing with Kaito? Drawing a card, and then it gets exiled. Okay. And you have mana drain up still. All right. Vindicate. Vindicate is nice. I think we draw off the Teferi still. Let's just keep drawing cards. Lorien revealed. That's interesting. Let's play this. Maybe they mana drain this. We're trying to bait the mana. We're trying to bait the mana drain here, all right? Okay. Bait, unsuccessful. So the question now is, do we care more about Vindicate getting mana drained or the Lorien revealed? Jeez. This taps for 3 mana. I'm just going to go with the Vindicate on the GT here. 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, good. So now we do this. All right, and then we go, ooh. We go Shattered Sanctum, Karn, make a construct. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, right. We can also do that. I'll untap Academy and Sanctum. Okay. We can crack the clue now, but we also don't have to, as it does generate us a mana. Okay. I'm definitely blocking with the construct token here, unless they have a way to kill it. Very, very close game. I'm liking our position now, though. But they want the 2 counters on the GT. Obviously, just noting that we do have the option of minusing the GT. Minusing the Teferi on the GT, rather. That is a line that is available to us. We don't need to untap that just yet. I am a little bit afraid of Shark Typhoon. And if I'm a little bit afraid of Shark Typhoon, let's just make constructs. This plays around Shark Typhoon a little bit, and then we can exile the Shark Typhoon. All right, well, let's just start with this. Okay. Then attack Kaito. Kaito down. All right, then I'm happy drawing a card here. Okay. At this point, let's cash that in. Okay. Let's play Gideon. Subtlety on the Gideon. Okay, we're going to counter that for 4. Two? I don't even know. Hold on, let's just make sure we're tapping this correctly. Cast with replicate here. Replicate, okay. All right. Yes! That one feels good. That one feels good. Match 3, let's go. This hand, we will mulligan. This, oh gosh. Why? Why do you do this to us? I kind of did it to myself, though, to be honest, because I'm playing 15 lands with the Lorien reveal, just hoping that I can draw one of my 14 lands that are untapped. Like, if this was an untapped land, this hand would be totally fine. Yep, got a mulligan, and we keep, and we're sad. Let's get rid of Teferi and Force of Negation. Not an ideal start here. And if you noticed, I just decided to main deck the Vindicate over the Esper Sentinel. We just have been doing it every single game, so. It might cost us here, though, if we can't miscalculation something. Because this is a Mox into something. Hangerback Walker? Walking Ballista? Oh, Pentat Prism, yeah. That would have been a great card to miscalculation, so... The Shattered Sanctum could have been a Plains. Now, even if I draw a land... Oh. I'm just going to get an island here to make it less obvious that I have Counterspell. I have 2 white already. Knight's Whisper will resolve. I want to miscalculate anything. Play anything. Alright. Do I cycle this? No. I don't think so, at least. The thing is, my opponent just has so much mana, I feel just kind of scared to do anything. And now, I think now we're at the point where miscalculation is no good. Oh, Faithless Looting. Okay. Dark Depths. Ooh, nice. All right, let's cycle this. Because what I want to do is find another land so that I could go Wandering Emperor end of turn, while also keeping up Counterspell. Or I can just do nothing for 2 more turns. All right, hear me out. Nothing for 2 more turns, and then I library. But that also involves me not playing any lands. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Guess we counter. Just draws him a card every turn. Is this a mana leak? Okay. I guess we can't do anything. All right, max pressure. What does max pressure mean? I guess it's Blade Splicer. We'll just do that. Next turn, we also have Celestial Colonnade as a way to attack the Wandering, as a way to attack Jace. They have so many cards in hand. Are they trying to Doomsday me? Oh, okay, yeah, it's some kind of combo shenanigans. I like it. We just do this, and then what do you have? Seething Song and Cabal Ritual has been cast, folks. I think Esper Sentinel is back on the menu. Goryo's Vengeance? Yawgmoth's Will, Vampire Hexmage. They have Dark Depths. This deck is sweet. They have all the combos. So we're going to need a fast start with some timely counterspell backup to be able to beat this opponent. Because they're going to go Yawgmoth's... Wait, no, they can't go Yawgmoth's Will. Underworld Breach. Brain Freeze. Could be anything. Time Twister. Okay. No Force of Will, sadly. This Soul Guide Lantern should be pretty decent in the matchup. Oh, is that just a whiff? Just like a... Just Time Twister? That's it? Okay. I'll take it. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. I can use that to kill the Jace, but I could also use Council's Judgment to kill the Jace and keep up Miscalculation. So I can also play Teferi. There are so many things I can do. Let's think through the options. I can play Teferi and Council's Judgment. Council's Judgment the Jace. Teferi untap and then keep Miscalculation up. Alternatively, I can go Council's Judgment. I can go Council's Judgment, Soul Guide Lantern. I can go Council's Judgment, Soul Guide Lantern, and then keep up Miscalculation. That gives me another layer of protection, but I don't have Teferi in play. But how good is it to have that Soul Guide Lantern in play versus the Teferi? All right, just gonna make some plays here. Let's kill Jace. Because I also want to get my opponent dead as quickly as possible. So, Teferi. Draw a card. Okay. This also allows us to untap Library plus Colonnade. Or I guess Library plus Island. Ponder. All right. This Miscalculation has to go a long way. Look, if they play something that I absolutely need to counter and Miscalculation won't get it done, then I can draw a card off the library and try to hit Force of Negation. So that's the other possibility. But if they just play a bunch of rituals, then we're just in trouble. Yeah, and then playing Steam Vents untapped is not great. Okay. Second spell, Hard Evidence. Third spell, Tinker. Wheel of Fortune. Yep. Okay. Any order. We drew Force of Negation. We drew Counterspell, but we can't cast it. Narset should be good. They're playing Gush. Okay. How many spells has been cast? Ooh, this is nerve-wracking. It is nice that we at least have Force of Negation here. Vampire Hexmage. We have Karakas for Dark Depths. We can't do anything about this anyways. Oh, they're just going to kill Teferi. That's fine. Okay, look. It could have been worse. That's mostly fine. Let's draw a card. Could use more blue sources, though. All right. So, we go Polluted Delta, Fetch, Island. Again, I think it's just important for us to have Counterspell up. Let's go Talisman. Let's attack with both of these creatures. And we now have access to The question now becomes, do I play something else to pressure my opponent? And I think the answer is yes. I can go Nettle Cyst here, and that is a lethal attack next turn, and keep up Counterspell and Force of Negation Narset. Can I still draw the card too? I can. So I can draw the card, keep up, yeah. So let's draw the card. Then we go Nettle Cyst. Play around Wasteland and all that stuff. And that's a 5/5, okay. All right, so they're gonna have to beat. Now Brain Freeze still could just get us here, depending on what they do. I'll let Night's Whisper resolve. But I might just counter a Ritual here. They have 3 mana. Like a Seething Song, I'll definitely counter. Manamorphose. Yeah, I'm countering Manamorphose. Are they going to Brain Freeze us? That's enough. Oh, no. Oh, they have Brain Freeze too. Oh, no. No! It's for 15. We had the Force of Negation. The Snuff Out. So the reason why I countered the Manamorphose is I didn't think they could play another spell and Brain Freeze us. Yeah, they got us. Wow. Well played. I wonder if I could have done something different there. Can I put something on top of my library? I don't think so. Okay. Well played, opponent. Well played. I think we're going to bring in both of these disruptive elements here. We have basically no creatures to kill, but we don't actually have creature kill cards. But I like just the idea of having creatures that can beat them down. I didn't see anything really worthy of Vindicating, honestly. So let's just take that out and add, oops, I can just do it here. Cut the Sanctum. Then we got to cut one more card. It's like, kind of like the ramp, kind of like everything else. I wonder, is Wandering Emperor the worst of these creatures? There's also Council's Judgment. I'll keep the Councils as a catch-all. All right, sure. So what happens if I don't counter Manamorphose? I mean, it just resolves and then they just probably play something else. Yeah. That was a relatively close spot. But the Snuff Out really got us. And I'm not going to lie, though, I am pretty happy about that library pick. It's been phenomenal. Also, we've drawn it a lot. It's obviously better when you draw it. Well, I sure hope I don't have to use this Force of Negation. I'll do it. I'll do it if I have to. All right. But I don't have to. That's good. Did they have an ice or something? Are they icing me? Although that would be the worst use of, like, honestly, if they try to ice me there with the Mana Vault. All right, this is good. We can just keep up Counterspell or make a Thopter. So yeah, Foundry plus Library is also really nice with Counter Magic. All right. Ooh, that's not bad. Let's attack. So I can diamond. Oh, this was actually it's fine. I can diamond and pass. Alternatively, because I really want to keep up counterspell. But also playing something like a Narset seems quite good in this matchup. So maybe I just do that. Activate it. Interesting. I'll take... Wow, there's my academy. I'll take Teferi. I'll just play the Mox. Yep. I think Narset is going to just be really, really good. So just play it. If they Twister, they're just destroying themselves. Or Manamorphose, etc. Vampire Hexmage. Okay, yeah. They have to kill Narset if they want to combo us. Oh, they're keeping it in play. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's play this. Fetch. Go get a plains. And then we can still play... I don't need to activate the Narset just yet. So I'm kind of interested in... I think the Blade Splice. Although Monastery Mentor is also interesting. But the Blade Splicer does just block the Hexmage. So I'll just do it like this. The reason why I'm tapping like this is just to make sure that it's just a lot more difficult to deal with basic islands. Although, honestly, I mean, they have a Hexmage in play. Maybe I'm supposed to just do this anyways. Yeah. Alright, I'll just take another counter. Excellent. I feel like I'm in a pretty excellent spot here. Miscalculation, lose focus, counterspell, force of negation. They're going to use the Hexmage and the Narset before they go off. We just want to keep hitting land drops. Yep. Mox is good. So wow, they got rid of the Dark Depth. So this is telling me that they're setting up for a draw 7 here. They're like, all right, I'm going to kill your Narset. I'm going to cast a draw 7. Take 2? They're going to take 2. If you're fetching now? No? What's happening? Right, so let's play the land. Let's attack with the Golem. Let us... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we play Teferi... Actually, I kind of want to have like all the counters at this point, and I don't think I need like the gazillion cards from the library. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to play Teferi. Oh, they can kill it. What am I doing? That was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, that's my bad, folks. I should have done literally anything else. I could have played Monastery Mentor. That would have been better. but it's okay. We can still untap library. What is happening here? Hardcast Gush. Okay. Can I untap my lands now? Okay. All right. So, I mean, I could have miscalculated that. But we'll see. We'll see what we need to do here. I still have counterspell, force of negation, all that stuff. I just need to be careful that of just getting brain freezed out here. That's like my biggest worry. If they just have it in their hand and I countered the wrong thing. Like, I think all the rituals are resolving. Yawgmoth's Will. Yep, we gotta counter that probably. Wheel of Fortune. Gotta counter that as well. But we do just die to brain freeze. Coalition Relic. That we don't care about. Okay. Whew. All right, here we go. All right, but we're out of the counter spells, right? We are out of counters. But now our plan is to just basically put on as much pressure as we can. I mean, I guess we can replicate the loose focus, so that's something to be mindful of. But I also want to make a bunch of tokens here. Yeah, maybe Elspeth doesn't matter though. Because right now I have access to loose focus. I mean, what happens if I Elspeth here? If I Elspeth here, I can only lose focus for 2. But if I don't, yeah, I'm just gonna keep the Elspeth back. All right, let's go. Clock is a ticking, folks. Yep. And we're gonna untap all of our blue. So now we can basically lose focus is basically counterspell. Sack the clue. Okay. It's basically counterspell here. All right, game 3 for the trophy. For the trophy. So I changed my mind. I think I like this actually better than Elspeth because of the flash nature of the card. Okay, so this doesn't have any disruption, but it does have a Mox Diamond. So we're gonna keep, because this has the potential. So because we can go turn to Wedding Announcement and then just try to beat our opponent down, and hopefully Soul Guide Lantern does something. Do I play? I don't think I need to play the Diamond turn 1. I will play the Soul Guide Lantern though. Is it Ponder? Hard Evidence. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So Certainly drawing the lose focus changes things. Like I'll lose focus a mana vault or something if they have it. Nice cheeky attack. Let's go ahead and get our Hallowed Fountain. And then we're just gonna play out Wedding Announcement here. Want to get that going as quickly as possible. And they missed the land drop, so... Wait, no, they didn't. No, they did. Okay. Land would be nice, because we can just go Talisman Splicer. But even if we don't draw a land, okay, yeah, we'll just do the thing that we talked about. Alright. No need to attack, because they have a crab to block. And now we have 2 tokens, a Blade Splicer, a Golem token with a Wedding Announcement in play, and our opponent's just on Crab token. They're on 2 lands. We do have a Lose Focus, and then we can play the Soul Guide Lantern next turn. So we now have a good amount of pressure. Next turn, Wedding Announcement's also going to flip. And we have Loose Focus plus Lantern. Things are looking pretty good for us, I think. But never discount the Storm deck. Out of like this turn, they could just kill us, right? They play their 3rd land. If they go Ritual, Yawgmoth's Will, something, I could still just be dead. They just tap 2 blue and cast Gush. That is scary. They just went turn 3 Gush? Just bounced 2 islands already? No way. Manamorphose? No. So they have 1 land in play now. Manamorphose is spell number 2, blue, black, red in the mana pool. Ritual? Cabal Ritual? Seething Song? Okay, Cabal Ritual, so they're now on 4 mana. Oh, geez. Don't play like a Lotus or something. If they go Lotus Yawgmoth's Will, we might just be dead. Sack a Clue, that's a good sign. That is a fantastic sign. This is not enough, right? They just brain freezed us. For 12? Yeah. No, that's not enough. Okay. We're good. And we have a Soul Guide Lantern, so they can't buy back the brain freeze. So yeah, we're just playing Soul Guide Lantern here. We are exiling this brain freeze. Attacking with everything. And this Lose Focus is just a hard counter because they gushed. You know, actually, maybe I should have held on to the Mana Vault because I have Monastery Mentor. But it's fine. Things are looking really good for us. Vampire Hexmage, remove all counters. Yeah, I'm just... Hold on, before I get too cocky. That doesn't actually stop Wedding Announcement. Okay, yeah, Vampire Hexmage is fine. Oh, they could have Dark Depths us. Wait, what am I doing? They could have Dark Depths us. Holy cow. They can still Dark Depths us. Like, if their land for the turn was Dark Depths, we were in big, big trouble. Alright, Karn was a good draw. Snuff Out. Okay, well, let Snuff Out happen. No, we don't have a good attack with the Hexmage First Striker. Yeah, I 100% should have countered Hexmage. I'm gonna actually use the Mana Vault here. Play Karn. Play Currency Converter. Make... Oh. What is with my sequencing? Jesus. They could have killed my card. Oh, fast and loose. The Cheon way. The Cheon way. Alright, here we go. Coalition Relic. Okay. Goodness. Okay. Let's loot. Remove this land. Yes. Nope. I'll take the damage from the Mana Vault. Ooh, Tolarian Academy. Nothing to really do with the mana though. And I think I'm just interested in making constructs. And I'm even going to loot now. Don't need the library. We'll exile that. And this is going to be the biggest loose focus ever. All right. Hexmage blocks whatever. They go to 4. All right. Even if they make a 20/20, we're good here. Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to say no to that one. Two, let's just do it. Okay. All right. Little bit loose there at the end. I'm not going to lie. A little bit loose. We got it done. Sequencing wasn't great. Vampire Hexmage certainly should have been countered. And then we could have sequenced the Karn a little bit better. But all in all, pretty successful deck. Blue-white artifacts tokens. We weren't playing the most unfair deck, but I think we had the right amount of speed and disruption. And of course, Academy still can do a lot of really, really nasty things. Let's take a quick look at the deck just for a quick recap. Let's take a look here. And yeah, I mean, this was kind of a fair Academy deck, and that's kind of what this looks like. Obviously, the combination of the Retrofitter Foundry is quite strong. But I think once we got the Academy, it wasn't the last pack. We did talk about it in the draft. We got it in the last pack. We're like, hey, look, let's just, if there are tough picks, let's lean Artifact in case we get something like the Academy. And I'm really happy with how the deck played out. Again, this is why these counterspells are so important in these decks where you're not trying to combo your opponents. And we were able to get that balance of pressure plus keep up counter magic, and hopefully that's good enough. So again, we had good mana, library was fantastic, and first trophy with blue-white Cheons? First trophy. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. Thanks for watching.